各位，今日嘅警方記者會即將開始。喺大家台中間左手邊嘅係我哋油尖警區指揮官何潤正，可 Sir 左手邊嘅係我哋警察公共關係科處理總警司江永祥。而大家見到台嘅左手邊係我哋行動部高級警司汪威信。另外台嘅右手邊有我哋有組織罪案及三合會調查科高級警司李桂華。麻煩啦，江 Sir。
係，唔該。各位好，今日呢個記者會呢，我哋主要呢係想交代一個嚟緊星期日有團體打算喺九龍區舉行一個遊行，而我哋警方呢對於呢一個嘅活動嘅立場同埋我哋反對嘅理據，以及呢喺過去幾日呢就發生嘅一啲嘅暴力事件。首先我想講一講呢，喺星期三晚有一名32歲嘅男子喺旺角亞蘭里被數名嘅男子呢用武器襲擊，事件呢已經係被列為傷人案，並由我哋旺角警區重案組接手調查。而其實呢一名男子呢喺較早前呢亦都曾經喺油麻地遇襲，而嗰宗案件呢，警方呢就暫時已經係拘捕咗3名男子。其中2名呢，就分別呢就被控以串謀襲擊致造成身體傷害，同埋其他呢違反交通條例嘅罪行。而另一人呢，就獲准呢保釋候查。而警方呢，就住旺角嗰單案件同埋油麻地呢間案件呢，其實仍然係努力咁樣追緝一啲在逃嘅人士嘅。我哋嚴厲譴責一切嘅暴力行為，無論犯案嘅原因係啲乜嘢，又或者背景係啲乜嘢，我哋都會嚴肅咁處理每一宗案件，務求將違法嘅人繩之於法。另外，我哋亦都留意到喺過去呢個星期，有人因為唔滿意一間院校有關公開閉路電視片段嘅安排，而喺呢間學校裏邊大肆破壞，包括擊碎晒校內嘅唔同嘅玻璃啦、班房啦，毀壞咗校園裏邊唔同嘅設施，塗污校園嘅外牆等等，而令到咧學校係要停課多日嘅。破壞嘅人去放棄用文明嘅手段去爭取佢哋嘅要求，同埋扼殺晒所有理性討論嘅空間。只要遇到一啲同佢哋意見唔相符嘅一啲事，就用暴力、一啲粗暴野蠻嘅行為去破壞，務求令到對方就範，服從佢哋嘅命令。呢啲訴諸暴力嘅行為，只會令到社會秩序大亂，完全係無助於解決任何嘅問題嘅。跟住落嚟，我會將時間交俾油尖警區指揮官何 Sir 去同大家講一講警方反對嚟緊星期日喺九龍區進行一個嘅遊行嘅理據。然後跟住我就會交代返過去幾日嘅一啲行動數字。唔該，何 Sir。
各位午安啊嚇！警方早前呢係接獲一個團體嘅通知啦，得悉該團體咧計劃喺嚟緊呢個星期日喺油尖警區咧進行一個公眾嘅遊行，由尖沙咀嘅梳士巴利公園遊行至西九高鐵站外邊嘅文匯道空地，人數咧報稱係達到5萬人。咁啊，經過我哋嘅風險評估之後咧，基於公共安全、公共秩序同埋保護他人嘅權利同埋自由嘅原因，警方已經喺今日10月18號向主辦單位發出咗反對遊行嘅通知書。我喺呢度提醒公眾，星期日有關計劃舉行嘅遊行呢，警方已經係發出咗反對公眾遊行通知書㗎啦。咁即係話，任何人如果參加呢個活動嘅話，係有機會干犯到參與未經批准嘅集結，係一個違法嘅行為。另外，我亦都提醒市民，星期日喺油尖一帶會有大量人群嘅聚集， 亦都好可能咧有啲突發嘅事件，亦都會影響交通嘅情況。我呼籲市民，尤其是係駕駛者，喺嚟緊嘅星期日，盡量避免去油尖一帶。而人群咧，亦都可能咧喺短時間內分散到去西九龍唔同嘅地方。我呼籲市民咧，當日要聽從警方嘅指示啦，亦都要留心媒體同埋電台嘅報導，避免前往危險嘅地區。跟住我再仔細講一講反對嘅理由。咁第一個理由咧就係暴力咧就喺過去幾個月咧不斷升級，越演越烈。咁喺過去4個月咧，我哋睇到市民和平理性嘅遊行集會已經被暴徒騎劫為激進嘅暴力衝擊，而佢哋使用嘅暴力程度咧，可謂係越嚟越猖狂。咁我準備咗啲片段俾大家，我哋先睇一睇片。
再有示威者喺登打士街同倫敦道交界燒起雜物。港鐵深水埗站其中一個出口俾人縱火，有蒙面嘅黑衣人喺港鐵站附近放煙花。有示威者用錘仔毀壞交通燈，
破壞長沙灣政府合署。
接住落嚟咧，我都準備咗一啲相片接住落嚟咧，我亦都準備咗一啲相片俾大家，咁大家可以留意熒光幕。咁喺6月開始咧，暴徒由拆鐵馬、堵塞馬路，演變成咧廣泛咁樣破壞香港嘅鐵路系統，亦都大肆毀壞政府嘅建築物，特別係警署。一啲議員或者係機構嘅辦事處咧，同埋一啲被針對嘅商戶咧，亦都係受到破壞。更嚴重嘅係咧，有啲暴徒係毒打一啲立場同佢哋唔同嘅市民啦，或者係旅客，並繼續咧係以攻擊警察咧作為目標。暴徒除咗用磚頭、竹枝、鐵枝、汽油彈、腐蝕性嘅液體，肆意咁樣攻擊警務人員。咁最近呢，更加有警務人員呢俾人用利器戒頸，亦都有個別嘅人員呢係警務人員呢係被暴徒以硬物圍毆毒打，嚴重咁樣威脅咗在場人士同埋警務人員嘅人身安全。近呢幾日更加發現呢有暴徒用到土製炸彈。喺另一單案件之中呢，喺被捕人嘅處所呢，亦都發現無人機、投擲武器嘅裝置、遙距引爆炸彈嘅手機裝置、汽油彈、長短刀等嘅致命武器，足以證明呢暴力程度呢係不斷咁樣升級，越演越烈。第二個原因就係情報搜集方面，警方一向呢都係用審慎嘅態度咧去審批唔同嘅公眾遊行嘅通知嘅。咁警方會就住申請咧作出風險評估，考慮發出反對或者係不反對通知書。咁正如頭先所講啦，咁而家嘅暴力行為咧係越演越烈，對社會嘅影響咧係越嚟越廣泛，亦都越嚟越頻繁。情報更加顯示咧，有激進示威者係會借10月20號呢個大型嘅公眾活動咧，去做出一啲嚴重危害公眾安全、公共秩序嘅暴力行為。咁事實上，類似嘅行為咧已經喺過去幾個月咧經常發生。 呢啲暴力行為咧係會嚴重危害到在場人士啦，包括市民大眾、示威者、旅客、在場嘅記者、警務人員嘅人身安全，亦都危害到油尖一帶嘅商戶同埋有關機構嘅財物安全。所以為咗維護公眾安全、公共秩序、保護他人嘅權利，同埋防止暴徒好似以往咁多次咁樣騎劫遊行嘅活動，警方係反對今次主辦者計劃舉行嘅遊行。少少嘅總結，我哋必須指出，警方咧係以十分尊重市民和平表達意見嘅權利。咁我哋一貫嘅政策咧，都係盡力協助市民進行和平嘅公眾活動。但係根據公安條例同埋警隊條例，警方係有法定責任咧，維護社會嘅治安同埋公眾嘅安全。我哋必須作出負責任嘅決定，盡我哋最大嘅努力去保障市民嘅生命財產安全。咁我哋知道啦，主辦單位已經就警方嘅決定咧提出上訴，我哋會等候相關嘅裁決。但係結果無論如何，我都再次呼籲咧，駕駛者同埋市民喺星期日要避免去油尖一帶，亦都要聽從警方嘅指示，留意媒體同埋新聞嘅報導，唔好去高危嘅地區。接住落嚟，我會交翻俾江 Sir， 唔該晒。
唔該，何 Sir。咁跟住我會講翻一啲有關行動嘅數字嘅。咁由星期一10月14號至到昨天10月17號咧，警方係一共拘捕咗13名男子嘅，年齡介乎16至46歲，涉嫌嘅罪行包括參與暴動、非法集結、爆竊、製造或管有炸藥、藏有攻擊性武器、刑事毀壞、傷人等等。跟住我會講其中2單嘅拘捕案件。第一宗係發生喺星期二晚，當時警方喺大角咀嘅一個單位搜出懷疑汽油彈、自製炸藥原材料同埋懷疑嘅引爆裝置。2名年齡分別係17歲同埋23歲嘅男子被捕，亦都係已經俾我哋以製造或管有炸藥罪控告咗佢哋。而案件亦都喺琴日於西九龍裁判法院提堂。另外想講一講一單案件，就係警方採取咗一個情報主導嘅行動，分別喺星期一同埋星期三，以爆竊嘅罪名拘捕咗2名嘅非華裔男子，年齡分別係29歲同埋46歲。佢哋涉嫌喺10月4號晚，趁大批暴徒破壞深水埗富華街嘅一間電信商店嘅鋪頭之後呢，就入內盜取咗價值大概250萬港元嘅手機，即係手提電話同埋手提電話嘅配件。法庭案件方面，我哋檢控咗1名27歲嘅女子，涉嫌參與喺10月6號黃大仙東頭村外邊嘅一個非法集結時使用蒙面物品。案件亦都已經喺今日晏晝喺觀塘法院提堂。而喺過去幾日裏邊，警方並冇使用任何嘅彈藥，亦都冇同事因為行動當中而受傷。跟住落嚟，我會澄清2件事件。首先第一件事，我哋係喺網上見到有一啲謠傳，話過去星期日喺即係10月13號喺觀塘被割頸受傷嘅警員，其實係一個內地人。我哋喺度澄清，絕冇此事。呢一個受傷嘅係我哋香港警察嘅同事。咁啊，第二就係我哋喺網上見到一個片段呢，有人聲稱就喺早幾日嘅一個深夜時分，就喺觀塘嘅翠屏村見到有人搬運屍體，亦都有警車在旁護送，懷疑事件另有外情。事實上，當晚警方接報有一名獨居嘅長者喺屋裏邊暈倒。咁之後呢，就有人聞到一啲異味，於是乎報案。救護員去到現場，跟住我哋爆門入到去，發現呢，就嗰位嘅獨居長者其實已經死亡。咁其後呢，就由食環署安排黑箱車到場，將嗰具嘅屍體係運走嘅。咁呢啲亦都係全部係合乎正常嘅程序，並唔係如謠言所講呢，有任何嘅內情嘅。 我喺度重申，如果係一啲基於事實嘅批評呢，我哋係樂於接受。但係一啲純粹係幻想出嚟嘅指控呢，我希望大家唔好輕易相信同埋轉載，應該咧理智咁樣去分析，唔好俾一啲別有用心嘅人唯恐天下不亂，興風作浪。甚至乎呢，有時我哋會見到有一啲毫無根據，因為一啲毫無根據嘅原因呢，有一啲人甚至去大肆破壞，又或者係傷害其他人。咁跟住我會作一個總結。持續咗超過4個月嘅示威活動，已經係出現咗大量嘅暴力事件，造成好多人受傷，包括我嘅同事，包括記者、示威者、市民。而社會秩序呢，係已經受到好嚴重嘅衝擊。呢啲暴力同埋犯罪，只係正在摧毀香港社會一路以嚟珍而重之嘅法治精神。更加唔係有啲人佢哋口中所講嘅追求民主公義。警方絕對歡迎和平有序嘅集會同埋遊行，而我哋會盡力去協助。但係喺過去嘅呢段時間，大家都有目共睹，好多時喺示威活動裏邊係會有一啲嘅暴力示威者同暴徒騎劫呢啲活動，變成咗暴力嘅破壞、放火同埋一啲傷人嘅事件，而普羅市民嘅生活亦都受到影響。作為負責任嘅警隊，我哋必須適切咁行使公安條例裏邊賦予俾我哋嘅權力，去確保公共安全同埋公共秩序。我哋實在係唔想見到喺任何嘅活動裏邊再有任何人受傷，再有任何嘅暴力破壞，因為呢一啲嘅暴力行為實際上係會將我哋多年嚟建立嘅一個和平有秩序嘅城市，甚至乎人與人之間嘅關係嚴重咁摧毀。我哋必須停止助長呢一啲嘅暴力風氣喺社會裏邊蔓延，而我哋警隊會繼續努力去重建社會嘅秩序。I'll give a brief summary in English. Over the past 4 months, the violence used by rioters has been escalating and reached an alarming level, plunging Hong Kong into a chaotic and panic situation. Firstly, we are deeply concerned about an assault on a 32-year-old man in Mong Kok last Wednesday. The case has been classified as wounding under investigation of District Crime Squad of Mong Kok District. The same person was involved in another assault case in early September. For that case, the police have arrested 3 males, two of whom were charged with conspiracy to assault occasioning as actual bodily harm. I must reiterate that the police condemn all forms of violence, regardless of the offender's motive, background, or political stance. We will certainly investigate into this case seriously and thoroughly, and endeavor to bring all offenders to justice. We are also deeply concerned that such violence has extended to schools. As a case in point, rioters smashed up key facilities and glass doors of a campus in Till Keng Lane. They resorted to these radical acts as they alleged the school of not responding to their demands. As a result, the school suspended classes for several days. Again, we must firmly reject any barbaric acts regardless of one's motives or objectives. Radical means cannot help heal the rift in society. It will only perpetuate the ongoing conflicts. Now, I'll move on to talk about a public order event application. The police has received notification of the intention to hold a public order event in Kowloon this Sunday. We just issued a letter of objection to the organizer. When deciding whether to issue a letter of no objection, the police will conduct an independent risk assessment. We'll consider a wide range of factors, including proposed location and route, the expected size of the crowd, and whether the organizers has the capability to manage the gathering. We will also draw on our recent experience of dealing with public order events, which have very often descended to chaos. Every application is considered on a case-by-case basis. Past experience showed that recent public order events are often hijacked by a group of radical protesters to commit violent acts like setting buildings on fire, hurling petrol bombs at police officers and into crowds, wrecking public properties, and launching brutal attacks on police officers and innocent citizens. What is more alarming is that some rioters used homemade bombs in a recent protest. In another case, our officers was stabbed in the neck by a rioter, showing a clear intention to take his life. Therefore, we object to this application for holding a public procession mainly based on concerns about public safety, public order, and protection of rights and freedoms of others. We understand that the organizer has filed an appeal to the appeal board on public meetings and processions. We'll await the appeal board's ruling. In conclusion, while we always respect citizens' right to assembly and freedom of speech, we are alarmed by this epidemic that radical protesters resort to violence in expressing their opinion. We sincerely appeal to every member of the public to adopt peaceful and rational means of expression. It is high time to end violence for good.
嚟緊將會有我哋嘅問答時間嘅，麻煩係想問問題嘅記者，你哋可以係舉手。Now，
你好，Now TV 嘅想問咧，頭先你哋話有情報顯示咧有人會借星期日遊行做啲嚴重危害公共安全行為啦。有冇話一啲例子係佢哋會做啲咩啊？同埋之前其實上個月嘅屯門遊行係有攞到不反對通知書，但係你哋都突然之間舉黃旗話警告嘅。點解呢一個行為聽日唔可以做咧？即係話其實如果聽日班人係和平遊行嘅，突然間做一啲你哋聲稱嘅違法行為先舉旗警告，點解唔可以咁做咧？同埋想另外問翻就係陳同佳嗰個案件啦，咁其實佢就係會獲釋啦，準備。咁其實佢出咗嚟之後，警方有冇啲特別嘅安排？因為其實佢入獄之前都有人話會向佢做啲暴力行為啊、襲擊佢咁樣。同埋台灣法務部要求你哋交證據，你哋考慮成點？同埋想問埋就係中大校長段崇智今日嗰份聲明話，同咗30個學生傾，大部分都有接受你哋警方不公平嘅對待，包括唔俾打電話俾律師，喺冇律師情況下強迫作口供，唔俾休息，同埋頭部受傷18個鐘先送院。呢啲係咪個別例子呢？定係其實係集體性違反緊或者侵害緊被捕人士嘅權利？唔該。
係咁咧就其實第一條問題有關嘅情報方面咧，我會交俾阿可 Sir 去講講嘅。咁跟住有關陳同佳案嘅處理咧，我諗我會交俾阿李 Sir 佢會講講。而我而家會對於有關不反對通知書啦嗰度，我會作出一啲回應。其實咧，我哋之前亦都提過好多次啦。其實對於一啲和平同埋有序嘅公眾活動咧，我哋警方咧係會盡力協助嘅。而我諗好多時公眾可能有個誤會啦，並唔係一啲攞咗不反對通知書嘅公眾活動呢，我哋喺過程裏邊係唔可以警告嘅。而好多時我哋喺過程裏邊點解好似剛剛呢位記者所講，我哋要舉起黃旗或者提出其他警告呢？ 係因為相關攞到不反對通知書嘅公眾活動，佢違反咗一啲喺不反對通知書裏邊嘅我哋叫 condition， 即係呢一啲條件。咁於是乎，我哋係會舉起黃旗去警告，會同翻相關嘅負責人講翻究竟係違反咗啲乜嘢。咁而我明白嘅，大家係好關注究竟我哋喺呢個確保公共安全同埋公共秩序裏邊，同埋究竟我哋去提出一啲反對通知書裏邊，當中我哋會考慮啲乜嘢？其實頭先何 Sir 同埋我咧，亦都講得好清楚，係啦。喺過程裏邊，其實我哋亦都要除咗睇翻一啲嘅路線啊、地方啊，或者主辦單位是否係有能力去處理嗰件事件裏邊可能會突發嘅一啲嘅秩序啊等等啦。咁而最重要嘅就係其實我哋喺行使公安條例賦予我哋相關嘅權力嘅時候呢，其實我哋都有個責任去確保翻參與者嘅安全，同埋其他喺當區生活嘅居民嘅一啲安全同秩序嘅問題。而好遺憾喺過去1、2個禮拜裏邊，我哋係見到一啲暴力嘅事件係升級得好緊要，就好似頭先我哋有提及，我哋會見到一啲土製炸彈嘅使用。我哋會見到有人係蓄意咁樣用一啲利器去襲擊我哋嘅同事，而我哋亦都見到汽油彈係掉到真係完全越嚟越暴力，越嚟越失控。咁所以我哋亦都係喺呢一啲嘅考慮底下，我哋係作出艱難嘅決定嘅。我哋都唔想貿貿然俾咗不反對通知書出嚟，之後就俾一啲暴徒去騎劫咗呢啲活動，而引致到對整個社會嘅安全同埋秩序呢，就受到嚴重嘅威脅同影響嘅。咁咧，跟住我就交俾何 Sir 去答翻第一條問題。
關於情報方面咧，我就唔可以講太詳細嘅情況啦。咁但係簡單啲嚟講咧，我哋都預計即係喺過去幾個週末發生嘅情況咧，都會重演嘅即係簡單啲嚟講。咁更加令人憂慮咧，就係喺過去嗰個週末啦。頭先江 Sir 都講過啦，已經有暴徒使用咗土製炸彈，亦都揾到一啲無人機同埋相關嘅投擲武器嘅設備。咁呢啲最近嘅情況咧，都係相當令人擔憂嘅。咁再加上我哋搜集到嘅情報咧，咁所以我哋決定咗咧，就係就呢個遊行咧，我哋俾咗一封反對通知書。咁呢個係好艱難嘅決定，亦都係我20幾年嘅警察生涯咧，第一次俾一封反對通知書嘅。咁但係我真係好希望咧，喺呢度appeal即係大家要開始和平理性進行遊行。
咁跟住就麻煩李 Sir 去回應一下有關陳同佳嗰個案件。
係嗱，關於呢一位人士咧，如果佢係刑滿出獄咗之後咧，佢已經係一個普通嘅市民嚟嘅。咁如果佢自己覺得當時佢嘅自身咧係有任何嘅安全上嘅問題嘅話咧，佢可以聯絡警方。警方咧係會提供一啲咧佢合適嘅措施俾佢嘅嚇。咁至於咧記者亦都有問到咧，就係關於喺台灣當局咧有講過一啲嘅證據移交嘅問題。我可以同大家講嘅咧就係咧，我哋香港係一個普通法嘅地方嚟嘅。咁對於一啲證據嘅移交去境外嘅要求咧係相當之高嘅。現在我哋警方可以做嘅嘢，經已做咗㗎啦嚇。咁我冇補充啦，唔該。
如果佢即係佢考慮自願去台灣自首，警方冇話可以做啲特別嘅安排，即係譬如台灣都要求你延長羈押佢，會唔會有呢啲嘅安排？
嗱，咁樣嘅兩樣嘢啦。咁第一樣嘢咧就係話可否延長佢羈押啦？咁其實就呢個係一個判刑方面咧，係法庭上嘅判刑嚟嘅。我暫時睇唔到咧有啲咩特別嘅嘢咧，我哋可以喺一個咁嘅情況之下可以加一個刑期啦。而第二樣嘢嘅咧就係話，如果佢出獄之後，佢刑滿出獄，佢自己想去任何地方嘅話咧，已經係佢嘅自由嚟㗎啦。因為佢有出入境嘅自由嚟嘅，咁所以咧，我哋警方咧亦都唔喺呢個階段嚟講咧，係冇乜嘢特別嘢係可以做得到。唔該。
咁咧就住最後嗰個問題有關阿段校長嘅聲明啦，係啦，我亦都有留意翻相關嘅內容。 我諗我哋要指出就係、其實對於任何人喺成個嘅行動裏邊或者一個拘捕嘅過程裏邊，如果佢係有一啲嘅唔滿意，又或者有啲事件係發生咗，佢覺得係受屈嘅話呢，係啦，其實佢應該挺身而出呢，嚟去作出一個投訴，提供一啲資料。因為咧，我諗我喺阿段校長嗰封嘅信裏邊啦，係啦，或者嗰個聲明裏邊咧，係連一啲最基本嘅資料我哋都見唔到嘅，係啦。而就算我哋自己主動去作出，即係我哋就住個別嘅個案，其實我哋有時都會主動去作出一啲了解或者跟進。但係到最後咧，我要喺度呼籲一下，就係其實喺各類型嘅調查裏邊，我諗最重要嘅嗰塊拼圖咧，就係當事人嘅口供。係啦，而我哋亦都見到有時有唔同嘅聲稱嘅投訴人或者覺得受辱或者受屈嘅人士咧，其實我哋又有時有留意到佢每次出嚟講嘅嘢都有少少唔同。咁呢啲亦都係增加咗我哋去跟進嘅難度。係啦，究竟邊一次講嘅先至係事實嘅全部呢？係啦，咁就正如我頭先所講，就算我哋有任何嘅基本資料可以俾我哋跟進到嘅話，到最後，如果投訴人佢唔願意挺身而出，去俾翻最重要嗰塊拼圖我哋呢，其實我哋都唔能夠將嗰件事嘅真相呢就還原翻出嚟。其實對任何方面都係唔公平嘅。唔該。
下一條。01。
你好，香港01，咁就想再問翻即係星期日嗰個九龍大遊行啦。咁就睇翻即係今次申請方都係民陣，咁之前過往佢幾次遊行咧都係以和理非為主。咁頭先就話情報方面唔方便透露即係有啲咩激進行為。咁但係其中咧就喺個反對通知書裏面咧都講咗話，即係警方話今次遊行沿途嘅地點咧都係即係好容易接近一啲容易受衝擊或者暴力事件影響嘅高風險建築物，包括港鐵站、高鐵站、尖沙咀警署同埋尖麻地警署等等嘅地方啦。咁想問咧，即係其實如果未來再有咁樣嘅遊行，即係好容易路線都會經過即係警署同埋港鐵站，因為呢啲地方其實都遍佈全港各地嘅。咁想問下即係警方會唔會用翻同樣嘅理由，即係都會去反對其他未來參加嘅遊行，即係會唔會擔心進一步壓制呢個集會嘅自由咧？咁第二條問題咧就係想問翻即係肇慶香港城嗰樣嘢嘅，就知道JPOA 之前咧都發表咗即係向會員發信啦，就話同華員會會構建呢個肇慶香港城，咁當中就話會即係協助兩會團購呢個公務員優惠價咁樣等等嘅，咁就想問翻咧，其實呢一方面警方有冇即係管方有冇收到相關嘅消息咧？會唔會當中違反呢個公務員事務規則同埋甚至係呢個防止賄賂條例？想問下，即係警方其實了解情況去到邊一度，同埋點樣可以作出規管？有冇違法等等嘅行為咧？咁第三條問題咧就係想問翻呢一個嘅記者發牌制度，即係近期都即係有消息傳就係話警方即係可能都試過即係向一啲去即係同政府啦，又或者係同記者協會咧，都即係發個口風，就係話可能擔心有假記者嘅問題出現，所以就話希望會有一個記者發牌制度，就去監管翻呢一個嘅現場嘅採訪嘅問題。想問下警方係咪真係有件咁樣嘅事？會唔會擔心即係影響呢個採訪嘅自由，亦都係一個史無前例嘅即係規管咧？唔該。
咁咧有關星期日嘅遊行活動嘅安排啦，我會交俾阿可 Sir 啦。咁跟住另外兩條咧，我就會自己回答嘅。咁不過喺我交個咪俾阿可 Sir 之前啦，我諗我哋頭先亦都講得好清楚，其實我哋去反對相關嘅公眾活動嘅申請啦，其實我哋都係基於一啲公共安全同埋公共秩序嘅考量嘅。係啦，我哋從來都唔會去考慮我哋係咪去壓制緊一啲嘅集會或者一啲嘅遊行嘅自由嘅。好，咁我交俾阿何 Sir。
多謝記者嘅提問啦。首先，警方咧係好重視市民集會嘅自由嘅。頭先我講出啦即係反對一個遊行咧，都係一個艱難嘅決定嚟嘅。咁但係我哋有啲數字反映翻咧，其實我哋係喺咁困難嘅時刻咧，其實都係好重視市民集會嘅自由。咁喺2019年6月9號至到18號咧，其實一共係有147宗事先知會公眾集會嘅申請，獲不反對通知書嘅集會咧係有124宗，佔咗84%。而被發 反對通知書咧，只係得23宗，係15.6%。咁另外同一時期咧，有66宗事先知會嘅公眾遊行，咁當中咧係有48宗咧係獲不反對通知書嘅，即係72.7%。而被反對嘅遊行咧，只係有18宗，係27%。咁呢啲數字都引證到，雖然幾個月治安嘅情況比較艱難，咁但係我哋都係好重視市民集會自由嘅權利。咁啊，江 Sir 頭先講嗰啲，我唔再重複啦啊。
好啦，咁啊就住第二條問題啦，有關我都見到有報道啦，有關我哋香港警察隊員佐級協會主席去出嚟講過嘅一啲嘢啦。咁其實咧警隊管理層咧，我哋暫時咧係唔知道有關嘅項目嘅。咁咧，但係我哋初步了解咧，其實嗰個項目咧就應該係有一個內地嘅房產嘅發展商啦，就想用一個團購嘅概念，就俾一啲人士咧去購買樓房嘅。而初步咧，我知道其實我哋嘅員佐級協會啦，甚至乎係華員會咧，都係同呢一個嘅發展商咧係循住呢個方向正在商討。而有關細節咧，其實完全未落實嘅。咁我度重申啦，其實所有嘅警務人員啦，喺接受利益方面咧，都係需要遵守防止賄賂條例啦，同埋接受利益行政長官許可通告，同埋一啲公務員事務規則嘅一啲規管嘅。咁而對於咧有關嘅項目嘅細節咧，由於佢仍然係在商討當中啦，所以咧我哋暫時係不作評論嘅。但係喺呢方面咧，我哋係會同翻協會方面咧係保持緊密嘅聯繫，去確保咧我哋嘅同事以及協會咧係都會遵從翻咧我頭先上述所講嘅一啲規則或者法例嘅。咁最後一條問題有關所謂嘅記者發牌制度啦。咁咧我要重申咧，其實喺過去呢4個幾月嘅行動裏邊。我諗咧就我哋係清楚咁見到喺個行動嘅執行期間呢，我哋有時咧就喺辨認記者身份方面咧係遇到一啲困難嘅。咁而咧我哋警方咧亦都係樂意咧係見到有任何可以協助我哋喺工作時候嘅一啲措施，特別係咧我哋同傳媒相關嘅措施嘅話咧，我哋一向咧都係有同政府新聞處方面咧進行同埋保持緊密嘅溝通嘅。而有任何同記者採訪有關嘅措施出台之前呢，其實都係會充分咁去徵詢業界嘅。咁我答案係咁多。
下一條Alfred。
RTHK English News. First question on the Sunday's march. The Civil Human Rights Front had actually reviewed during an earlier press conference that it has suggested also other routes in Tsim Sha Tsui, and the police even agreed that the route currently that you guys have banned has the least impact on other users. So, I mean, is it as long as it's the Civil Human Rights Front who's organizing this march, then due to the current circumstances, you guys are going to ban the march anyway? And does the ban has anything to do with the fact that one of the march's demands is to reform the police force? Second question, more and more often we see the identities of police officers hidden in open court proceedings, even when they're just testifying. Such protection are usually only reserved for sexual offense victims, and is it something that the police requested the DOJ to do, and why should police officers have this privilege? Does it harm the public's right to know and affect the fairness of trials in any way? Third question about the official press pass arrangement. The police requested such a measure to be enforced, and what about journalists who come from outside Hong Kong, or what about freelancers who are going to work in Hong Kong doing press work? So what about them?
Okay, Mr. Ho will answer the question, the first question, and then I will pass the floor to Mr. Lee about the second question, and I myself will answer the last one. Mr. Ho, please.
Thank you for the input. Firstly, I did not listen to the press release conducted by the CHRF, but anyway, according to our experience after possession conducted on the 7th of July. The route is also along the Kowloon Park path. But because of the number of participants, like this time, they say that they will have 50,000 of people participating. Actually, the people spill over to Canton Mall, Leyden Mall, and all over Tsim Sha Tsui, just because Tsim Sha Tsui is a very small area. And Assembly Point, the park is also very small. It's only catered for a few hundred people. So it's one of the consideration. And also the background of the organizer, we have no concern at all. Just we will conduct individual assessment according to the current situation and also the location where they could cater so many people. That's all from me.
It's one of the demands related to disbanding, reforming the police force, taken into consideration when you decided whether to issue the ban?
No.
I think we have made very clear here that to issue any letter of objection or letter of no objection, our primary concern are public safety, public order, and the right and freedom of others. And the element that you have just mentioned had never been on our list. And I will pass the floor to Mr. Lee.
Thank you. I think that it's not a privilege for the police to being masked we call the surface number and in the name. What I say is a necessity, because you can see that there's a preference situation of officers' name, including their spouse, children's, being put on the cyber world and being harassed subsequently. I'm not putting too much on this area, but I have to say that because of this one, we don't want that our officers, of course, including some of the civilians, being fear of doxing and the subsequent harassment, we make such arrangement. And one point I would like to highlight is that police at some time is also a victim. And according to the victims' charter, we have to protect their right to have the privacy and the confidentialities. That's one area we are looking into. And for that one, we are not seeking a bankrupt protection for this thing. We have a case by cases. We make the application through the prosecution and to the judge or to the magistrate to see whether it's suitable to use to protect their name for this one. In the actual practice, say for example, for myself, if we name in the court that we maybe say that in a senior superintendent, maybe giving a alphabet A or something like that, and you're giving the age, to make the publics to know all the cases about this one. So don't worry about it that we will deprive the public to know what happened in the court. And for the trial, we also furnishing all the information, including the full name and the UI to the defense, to make them to build their defense case as well. So don't worry about that one. It's immediately to protect the fair trial involving the police officers in this kind of cases. Okay, thank you.
For the question about the so-called official press pass, actually in recent months, when police are carrying out our duty in this operation, we encounter difficulties in identifying genuine reporters on the operational ground. We are open to any new measures which could help us execute our duties more efficiently, and will maintain close liaison with the Information Services Department. I think that the Information Services Department will fully consult the media industry before executing any new policy on policy like official press pass or other policy that relate to the work of press members.
My question was, did the police request this policy change?
Actually, all along the operation, we have maintained. We always maintain Information Services Department updated on the difficulties that we encounter during different operations. Thanks.
下一條。下一條。
Yeah, my question also mentioned what happened to foreign press or visiting
I think the whole policies will be formulated by the Information Services Department, and I don't think I'm in a good position to comment on any of these.
K 寶，
你好，hello，喂，有冇聲？有線電視啊，想問翻兩個問題。第一個問題主要關於啲進度調查案件嘅進度。想問翻幾個案件啦。第一個案件就係之前有個尖沙咀警署外面爆眼嗰個少女，嗰個案件調查成點？即係同法庭嗰個來往而家個情況係點樣啦？第二個就係關於嗰個印尼女記者又係右眼中槍嘅事件啦。咁係咪已經同佢接觸咗、落咗口供，同領事館嗰方面聯絡係點樣啦？第三個就係關於早前 Now 個車長喺旺角警署外面中彈嗰個情況啦，係咪同佢落咗口供啦？同 Now 新聞台嗰個接觸係點啦？第四就係嗰個關於中大個女同學，佢話喺警署裏面受一啲性暴力嗰啲啦。咁呢個係調查成點啦？因為之前咧有女運動員佢都冇主動接觸警方，但係警方都透過第三者去接觸佢落口供，想知個進度係點樣？呢個第一個問題。另外第二個問題就想問翻，即係一路以嚟市民想講話投訴警察嘅時候咧，都揾唔到佢哋個警員編號。咁監警會都話一路會做緊個檢討工作，想知道做成點樣？因為見到都有唔少警員而家喺個頭盔上面都有一啲款式唔同嘅警員編號或者識別嘅字眼，想知而家個成個識別警員編號呢個機制做成點？唔該。
係。咁啊就住個別嘅案件嘅進度啦，咁啊有關你頭先講話喺呢個尖沙咀警署外邊有一個女士啦，佢嘅眼部受傷嗰個案件啦，我交俾李 Sir。咁啊跟住另外嗰3宗案件啦，就我會親自就講翻一啲嘅進度啦。而其實最後嗰條問題咧，有關一啲識別嘅號碼或者一啲嘅編號咧，我就交俾阿汪 Sir。咁啊唔該李 Sir。
我首先咧交代一下關於我哋喺尖沙咀8月11號嗰個案件入邊，其中有一位嘅女士嘅眼部受傷嗰個啦。咁啊，因為咧依個案件咧就佢就係有一個嘅司法覆核咧，就係關於係我哋嗰個獲取佢嗰個嘅即係嗰個 medical report 啦嚇，即係佢嗰個醫療報告嗰方面嘅。咁因為咧而家係進入咗呢個司法程序嘅，咁我都不能夠多提及呢個案件嘅。咁就亦都冇乜補充啦。希望呢個完結咗之後，我哋可以再討論啦嚇。唔該。
咁啊，有關其他3宗案件啦，咁我跟翻你嘅次序。咁我先講咗一名印尼女記者就喺呢個灣仔區採訪嘅時候受傷嗰個事件啦。咁其實之前有提過啦，其實早前咧，我哋就收到佢嘅代表律師嘅一啲嘅信件，而因為當中咧佢係有提及過佢哋好可能咧就會進行即係進一步嘅法律行動啦。咁所以其實警方咧而家係正在諮詢緊律政處我哋嘅自己嘅法律意見，就睇下究竟我哋喺回覆同埋進一步嘅跟進嘅時候咧要注意啲乜嘢嘅。而有關我哋是否係同呢一位嘅受傷嘅印尼女記者就攞咗口供呢？咁根據我哋最近咧同佢嘅代表律師嘅溝通呢，其實事主咧即係呢位傷者咧仍然係喺醫院裏邊留醫，就正在休養當中嘅。咁其實我哋都希望可以盡快可以攞到口供，咁但係就現階段就都未做到呢一樣嘢。但係我哋同佢嘅代表律師咧係有溝通過嘅。而另外咧，我哋亦都係進行咗一啲嘅實地嘅考察啦，同埋另外我哋亦都係收集咗一啲網上嘅片段啦。咁我哋就從而就希望咧，就將當日嘅情況咧就可以即係再確認同埋重現出嚟嘅。咁啊，有關一個傳媒機構嘅車長啦，咁佢大概1個禮拜前啦受傷嗰個事件啦，咁其實警方已經主動聯絡咗相關嘅傳媒機構啦。咁而我哋亦都知道咧，而家呢個相關傳媒機構咧，佢正在考慮緊有關跟進嘅行動嘅。而由於嗰位嘅受傷嘅人士，佢應該都仲係正在係療養當中啦，咁所以我哋暫時都未係可以同佢接觸得到攞到口供嘅。 而另外啦，其實我哋嘅投訴警察課咧，亦都已經主動咁樣去相關嘅警署啊，同埋附近呢，就去嘗試去揾翻一啲嘅閉路電視片段啦，同埋接觸翻相關當晚曾經即係參與過嗰個行動嘅同事，咁亦都係希望可以攞翻一啲資料，就將當晚嘅事件呢，就可以就重整出嚟嘅。咁而有關嗰個中大嘅學生嗰個嘅事件啦，咁其實我哋喺嗰個嘅中大嘅段校長啦，同啲學生嗰個溝通會之後咧，其實我哋係曾經多次去嘗試聯絡呢位嘅同學嘅，咁但係咧我哋都並未能夠成功咁聯絡到佢，而亦都未收到佢嘅回覆。而另外，其實我哋咧係正在多途徑咁希望去接觸呢位事主嘅，因為咧就正如我之前有提及過啦，係啦，就算係我哋有一啲嘅基本嘅資料可以俾我哋作出跟進，我諗喺成個調查裏邊最重要嗰塊拼圖咧，就係我哋要揾到呢位事主，可以了解翻當日個詳細情況係點樣樣嘅，咁而佢嗰份口供亦都係極之重要。咁所以我哋亦都呼籲事主盡快聯絡我哋啦，因為其實即係當然啦，我唔知道相關報道嘅內容個真實情況係點啦，因為我哋亦都喺某一啲嘅佢嘅訪問裏邊見到話佢係唔願意協助我哋繼續進一步跟進呢件事嘅，又有一啲嘅報道咧，又話其實佢都考慮緊會唔會嚟嘅，係啦，咁所以其實我哋都再次呼籲，希望佢盡早去聯絡我哋，令到我哋可以攞到呢一塊最重要嘅拼圖，從而咧向到即係可以做到一個公平公正嘅調查啦，同埋亦都係對各方面咧都係還到一個公道嘅。咁而另外咧，唔好意思啊，
我諗係等我哋台上面嘅講者回答咗問題，有問題嘅話，你可以舉手再發問嘅。
而另外，其實我頭先有提及過啦，我哋係嘗試用多方面希望聯絡到呢位當事人嘅，包括其實我哋咧亦都係致函過去中大嘅學生事務處啦，睇下佢哋可唔可以幫到我哋去聯絡到嘅當事人啦。而另外，我哋亦都係較早前咧，早兩日亦都係曾經致函咧，就俾阿段校長，希望段校長可以協助到我哋去尋求到呢位事主可以挺身而出，係去協助我哋調查呢個事件嘅。咁我諗最後我再重複一次，就係我諗所有嘅投訴個案或者唔同嘅事件裏邊，當事人係嘅口供或者佢嘅故事咧係最重要嘅。如果冇咗呢一塊重要嘅拼圖，我諗我哋去下嘅任何判斷，又或者係我哋去調查出嚟嘅任何結果咧，都係唔全面嘅。咁如果係咁咧，就對任何一方，包括投訴人啦，又或者係被投訴人咧，其實都係唔公道嘅。咁跟住咧，我就交俾阿汪 Sir 咧去講講最後嗰個問題。
唔該晒，你個問題係叫我哋想講一講俾你聽，監警會就住警員識別編號嗰個事件上面嗰個進度係嘛？對唔住，我答唔到你，因為監警會嘅進度嚟㗎嘛，係嘛？
警方喺就住監警會，佢哋要求你去跟進呢啲識別編號，點樣可以做得好啲嘅情況啊？做得好啲呢樣嘢係警方㗎嘛，唔係監警會做㗎嘛。即係你哋點樣整到呢個識別系統？呢個識別嘅編號可以令到大家更容易識別到個警員身份係警方做㗎嘛？
哦，明白。嗱，但係監警會依家係處理嘅嗰件事啊嘛，係嘛？仲未正式去同我哋講話點樣去做好啲。不過不如咁啦，我解釋一下到底我哋依家做緊啲乜嘢好唔好啊？嗱，就住咧，我哋警務人員嗰個識別編號咧，其實除咗我哋有警務人員嗰個號碼之外咧，我哋仲有啲我哋叫做行動呼號嘅，即係話你見到有好多唔同嗰個編號，無論喺頭盔啦，或者我哋嗰個工作嘅背心上面啦咁樣嚇。咁位置係唔同啦。咁但係咧呢啲編號咧，其實最重要一樣嘢咧，都係獨有嘅。係話嗰個同事喺嗰個位置，話嗰個工作咧係愛嚟標誌嗰個同事係咩人嚟嘅。好啦，咁其實佢出嚟個效果咧，同佢個警員嗰個號碼係一樣嘅。咁就住呢樣嘢嘅出現咧，其實大家都可以放心啦，就係話我哋有咁嘅編號可以揾到佢啦。就算有時編號上面唔清楚，或者係有啲可能記錯，話你有啲編號我可能講錯咗喎。就住我哋警務人員嘅工作咧，其實我哋都有分配唔同人咩時間喺邊度做緊啲咩嘢。當然啦，唔係話有個表話每一日要有 好多個咁樣寫晒喺度，而係話我哋有住唔同嘅記錄，我哋同時咧都可以就住將來如果你有投訴啦，或者有咩案件嘅時間，我哋可以經過唔同嘅記錄咧，可以揾翻啲相關嘅警務人員咁揾翻出嚟咯。咁但係就住監警會嗰個進度，我就暫時未有辦法答到你啦，好嘛？唔該晒。
江 Sir 咧，頭先關於中大女學生嗰度，你話曾經致函過中大學生事務處同埋段校長嗰度，想知道佢哋個回覆係點樣，有冇回覆啦？同埋暫時就住呢個案件，警方係攞咗或者已經掌握到啲咩證據，或者掌握到啲咩資料？因為頭先講到關於啱新聞台嘅車長，你都可以透露到而家你哋調查進度係攞咗 CCTV 啦，同埋揾咗啲警員。咁呢一單中大女學生案件裏面，警方係做咗啲乜嘢咧？攞到啲乜嘢證據咧？就住呢啲資料會有啲乜嘢行動咧？同埋剛才話係最後一幅嘅拼圖一定要有佢嘅證供先可以起訴到啦。如果唔係就好困難。想請教嗰個困難之處係在於邊咧？因為之前好似頭先我所講嗰個女運動員咧，咁佢都冇係直接同警方接觸嘅。咁但係最後都係成功可以落到 charge 控告到當時嗰個被告去上到庭。咁所以我想知兩單案件差別在於乜嘢，同埋嗰個困難係請教你講係在於邊度？
麻煩有線嘅記者，因為頭先嘅問題都比較多，同埋你又再有追問嘅問題。完咗呢一個之後，我哋俾下一位，好冇？
好嗱，咁我嗱 OK 啊，我盡力回答啊，放心，係啊，唔需要擔心啊，係啦。咁可能咧，我頭先去回答嘅時候咧，就話未必夠詳盡啊。咁咧，其實我哋係致函過去學生事務處啦，同埋去致函過段校長咧。咁暫時我哋未得到任何嘅回覆嘅，係啦。咁有關其實個調查進度咧，我哋都係有嘅，係啦。其實我哋同事咧亦都係就住一啲有限嘅資料啦，我叫做係啦，因為我哋都只能靠一啲嘅新聞片段啊，或者其他裏邊得到有限嘅資料啦。咁就住有限資料咧，其實我哋亦都係已經其實同之前嗰兩單案件咧係好相近嘅，就係我哋都即係去揾到一啲嘅閉路電視片段啦，同埋我哋亦都係可以揾到相關嘅當日有處理過呢一個嘅被捕人嘅一啲嘅同事出嚟嘅。咁而有關你頭先講啦，有個運動員嗰單案咧，我諗最重要就係嗰個運動員佢唔係話由始至終都唔現身嘅，係咪啊？我諗大家都會見到啊，最後喺個法庭審訊嘅時候，佢都有出到嚟㗎嘛，係咪？係啦，咁所以我諗嗰個情況完全唔同啊。係啦，我諗喺我哋而家個調查同埋跟進裏邊咧，根本係我哋係揾唔到嗰個受害人啊，係啦，或者個投訴人啊。而你所講嘅嗰件嘅運動員嘅案件裏邊，我諗係一個好，我叫做一個公平公正嘅原則，就係佢到最後佢係有上到法庭，係啦，佢係有受過，即係佢有俾個證供啦，係咪？係啦，咁呢個我諗就係我所講嘅一個重要嘅拼圖啦，係啦。我諗暫時我嘅了解就係無論喺個投訴機制裏邊，甚至乎你頭先所講嘅一啲嘅刑事案件嘅機制裏邊啦，我諗我暫時如果阿李 Sir 佢有補充，可以去再講啦。喺我印象裏邊，我係冇見過冇當事人就可以即係處理到嘅案件咯。咁啊，李 Sir 你有冇補充？
咁我哋去下一條，最後兩條今日新華社。
你好，新華社提問。第一個問題是關於20號遊行的，我想知道警方制定了什麼樣的一個預案，來針對一些可能發生的暴力衝擊行為。特別是近期暴徒一直在衝擊一些特定的一些商鋪，那麼針對這些特定的商鋪，警方有沒有加大警力，或者有一些什麼樣特殊的一些保護的措施？第二個問題是，我們看到在互聯網上看到一些信息，就是13號在觀塘被割傷的那個警員，以及在將軍澳受傷的警員，在公立醫院受到一些不公平的待遇，這是我們在互聯網上看到的一些信息。我們想問一下，這個信息是否這樣的傳言是否是屬實的？警方有什麼樣的回應？謝謝。
咁啊，就住有關第一條問題咧，咁我就會交俾阿汪 Sir 去講一講啦。就住一啲特定嘅商鋪，我哋有冇一啲嘅即係一啲特定嘅商鋪近排不停咁受到破壞，我哋有冇一啲嘅對策啦？咁而有關第二條問題嘅一啲有關我哋同事受傷之後住院嘅情況咧，咁我會再補充一下嘅。咁唔該，汪 Sir。
好啊。嗱，就住你第一條問題咧，其實就住嚟緊10月20號呢 呢個大型嘅公眾活動啊。咁咧我哋相信咧有機會根據情報主導咧都有機會有嚴重暴力嘅事件發生，所以咧我哋發出咗呢個反對通知書。咁就住呢個咁嘅情報咧，其實我哋警方咧係唔會話有反對通知書冇嘅。其實我哋都會靈活咁樣調配我哋嘅人手部署係根據風險。睇睇邊一度咧嗰個破壞機會或者係邊度處理嘅機會咧係高啲嘅，咁咧我哋會相應咧有相對嘅人手同埋相對嘅部署咧去處理嘅。我哋唔排除好似較早前上2個禮拜喺某一啲嘅店鋪入邊，我哋知道有人去破壞，我哋唔排除會放我哋適當嘅人、適當嘅同事或者適當嘅資源去打擊呢啲罪案。因為咧，對於我哋警方嚟講，任何嘅暴力罪行都應該停止。我哋唔會姑息任何暴力行為，亦都希望所有市民，如果你收到咁嘅知識或者資料，應該遠離呢啲咁嘅地方，因為呢啲係危險嘅地方。同時唔好逗留喺附近，因為咧我哋警方處理案件嘅時間咧係有一定嘅危險性嘅。同時亦都係呼籲記者係同我哋保持一段嘅距離。咁變咗我哋處理嘅時候咧，會更加容易啲咁呢個初步就係我哋就住嚟緊嘅行動入邊或者大型行動入邊我哋處理嘅手法啦。唔該晒。
咁就住一啲商鋪破壞啦，我都喺度去作出一啲呼籲啦。咁我都知道其實坊間咧都有好多完全係為咗包裝啦，或者係縱容暴力嘅一啲説法啦，例如將一啲刑事毀壞嘅行為稱之為裝飾或者裝修啦，係啦。我諗呢啲係完全係一啲違法行為嚟嘅。而大家可以歷歷在目咧，就係大概1個星期之前呢，我哋亦都喺葵芳嘅個商場裏邊呢，我哋收到啲情報，於是乎我哋咧係會有一啲重點嘅行動去打擊呢啲嘅案件。咁行動裏邊，我哋係即場拘捕咗7名去主動破壞或者喺一啲商鋪裏邊搗亂嘅人士，係啦。咁所以我哋重申呢一啲嘅刑事毀壞嘅行為，絕非裝飾，亦都更加唔係裝修。咁跟住有關我哋同事受傷之後住院嘅情況啦。咁我因為咧始終都係牽涉翻我哋同事佢自己一啲個人喺醫院嘅一啲嘅遭遇啦。我呢度唔方便有一個太詳細嘅展述。咁不過咧就係其實我哋咧同醫管局方面咧係有一個恆常嘅機制嘅。咁如果我哋同事喺住院裏邊，即係住院過程或者係接受醫療嘅過程裏邊，係啦有任何嘅意見或者有任何情況要反映嘅話咧，我哋都有翻相關嘅渠道嘅。而就我所知咧，有個別嘅同事咧，其實佢喺一啲嘅公立醫院係接受完治療之後咧，佢都係有轉去一啲嘅私家醫院咧，係繼續接受治療嘅。我諗最重要咧就係我哋幫同事去安排一啲治療嘅時候咧，就要令到我哋嘅同事啦同埋佢嘅家人安心嘅啫。咁而我哋都相信咧，一啲專業嘅醫護人員咧，其實係會克盡己任咧，去醫治同埋照顧每一個傷者嘅。係啦，咁我要答嘅咁多。
好，今日嘅最後一條係SCMP。
Hi, you previously mentioned that the victim's testimony is the most important piece of the puzzle. But as we've seen in multiple cases, such as the Indonesian journalist, the woman who was injured outside TST Police Bureau, as well as the female student from CUHK, none of them are willing to cooperate with police. You know, there are talks online where there are fears if people go to the police, they might actually end up being charged themselves for charges such as rioting. And we've seen that recently, the public's confidence in the police has dropped to a very low level where over half of the public has zero trust in the police in the recent poll. So how can you solve this issue where the public has lost trust in the police and they won't come to you to help you with many of these cases? And if this issue can't be solved, so how can police work be conducted in the future? Thank you.
Okay, I'll try to answer part of the question and see if Mr. Lee have anything to supplement. Yes, we consider the version or the statement of a complainant is the most important piece of evidence in any investigation. without these piece of evidence, we encounter great difficulties to find out the facts of the case. And I think we have to distinguish here between their fear to be charged and whether they have confidence in the police force. Now, first of all, whether he or she will be charged or not, this will be the decision of the Department of Justice, because we are only the law enforcement agency. We have the statutory duty to collect evidence in every single criminal case. However, whether to impose any charge or not, it is a decision. It is the decision of the Department of Justice, and we do not have the power to give any immunity or similar things to any complainant or any offender. And whether whether any member of the public has confidence on us, I think after over 4 months of social unrest in the community, we have to admit that a lot of things has happened, and there may be misunderstanding from the side of the public about their confidence on us. However, I think under the recent mechanism of how the police to investigate every single case, and we will rest the responsibility to decide whether any charge will be imposed or not to the Department of Justice. I think this is the only way that we could deal with any criminal case. And for complaint, we have a very stringent two-tier complaint handling system involving the Complaint Against Police Office in the police force, as well as the IPCC, being the statutory body to oversee every single investigation of complaint. So we have to respect the system, and apart from doing so, I could not think of any other alternative for a complainant or any victim of crime to follow up their complaint or follow up their case.
Zero confidence for over half the population.
如果今日冇問題嘅話咧，我哋今日嘅記者會係正式結束嘅。咁啊，唔該晒咁多位阿 Sir， 唔該晒。頭先係講咗係最後一條嘅問題嘅，我哋唔該晒，係啦。有問題嘅話咧，我哋係可以喺下一次嘅記者會嗰度咧係可以再去發問嘅，因為咧頭先咧佢就講咗已經係最後一條嘅發問啦。咁所以如果係嘅話咧，我哋可以下一次可以係再去係發問嘅。好，唔該晒啊，唔該晒。
而家講話係咪被 ban 啊？